Hey, it's Golden Buddha here, back with some more RPG horror stories for your listening entertainment. Today we have a story about a DM who unexpectedly sprung one of the most deadliest settings onto 4 unsuspecting ponies. Very strange, unexpected crossover, but here it is. Roll post. This story is for my second ever D&D campaign. I played in about 9 years ago. Some details are fuzzy, but the general ideas are there. The only notable people in the story are me and the DM. There were 3 other players, but all of us had a similar experience. At the time, the group of us who played in this, and a campaign previous to this one, would meet on a different day to watch anime and other popular animated shows. This included the newer My Little Pony show. After we had finished the previous campaign, DM suggested making a My Little Pony campaign, which we were all down for. It didn't change the 3.5 edition builds much, as he assigned certain pony types to classes and gave minor modifiers to each type. I had always made support characters in previous campaigns, so this would be a good opportunity to play something new, a monk. The pony type this is associated with is an earth pony, which part of their classification is that earth ponies cannot use magic. This is important for later. So we all build our characters and begin the campaign, setting off to a fair being held in town. As we begin introductions and other first campaign roleplay, the DM describes a portal of blood red and darkness that has appeared behind some of the vendor tents. A few NPCs vanish upon touching it, and we decide to venture inside to save them. Upon finding ourselves on the other side, we find ourselves in Ravenloft. Now, at the time, I had no idea what the setting was, but 2 other players did, and gave that noise where you're shocked, horrified, and excited all at once. I was going to learn really quickly that I was not in for a great time. Our first encounter was against a group of zombies. Now, only one member of the party had a slashing weapon, and no one had wholly anything. We built for a generic campaign, not Ravenloft after all. Our encounter with the zombies nearly does us in. On a good attack, I'm doing level 1 monk damage, -5 due to the zombies' damage reduction, so I'm more or less useless. At the end of the encounter, the remaining zombies are destroyed by 3 DMPCs of the Paladin class, modeled after a group of 3 child pony characters from the show. This was the DM's way to balance out our party, not having a good build for this campaign. The DMPCs are okay and they aren't roleplayed often, but they will interject to move the plot forward. After we settle, we have our hook. Strahd has marked one of the NPCs we came to rescue as his bride, so we need to save them and then escape the realm. Now, the campaign continues for us in a regular pattern. We end up fighting some sort of dark or undead foes. I can do near nothing as I'm physically bashing only. The party struggles a little bit better, and we lean on the DMPCs to do a majority of the work. Now, if you're familiar with the monk class, you know eventually we can supernatural class abilities that are more useful against enemies with damage mitigation. Remember when I mentioned part of being an earth pony means you can't use magic? Yeah, I could learn all non-supernatural abilities, but couldn't learn anything involving ki. So I could punch harder, heal diseases on myself, and mitigate my own damage, but I was still proving useless in a fight, and it was getting old. So there came a point in the story where we needed to go to 3 specific locations over the course of 3 campaigns. Before this, we had the opportunity to purchase special upgrades for our character. I was given the choice of magically imbued fist weapons, one with fire element and one with lightning element. I grabbed the fire element fist weapons and finally felt like I was able to contribute to the combat. Oh, how wrong I was. The first area we went to was a swamp that ended up being inhabited by 3 shambling mounds. This is where I actually started hating the campaign. The DM knew this encounter was coming up, and that I was feeling bad about the character I had being very suboptimal, so he offers a fire weapon that he says the shambling mounds have a resistance to, and an electric weapon which the shambling mounds straight up absorb. To make a long tale shorter, we somehow survive all 3 locations and make it to Strahd's castle. We then are split up by Strahd as we enter, with 2 of us in the garden and 2 in the basement. This is where things go a little off the rails. One of the party does not believe we have any chance at victory and immediately swears loyalty to Strahd. Another eats the heart of 3 now dead DMPCs and converts to lawful evil and is swallowed by the darkness of the realm. A 3rd player had already been killed by a vampire. The NPC had been completely turned into a vampire themselves. And then there was me, with a scene about how I'm all alone and all my friends are dead. So I can't really say that I enjoyed that last session of the campaign. Would I like to play the campaign setting again? Sure. I have nothing against the campaign, realm, atmosphere, or anything of the like. However, to be prepped for one campaign only for it to, surprise, be an entirely different one that we are not prepped for, to the point that the DM makes his own DMPCs for the entire campaign? Not really my cup of tea. End post. Well, I feel like this story was kind of, I'm kind of on the side of the poster a little bit. Yeah, he kind of did fake you out if he told you you guys were going to play a more traditional game and then you end up popping up in Ravenloft. Also, the DMPCs, he knew you guys couldn't take half of the shit there, because he rolled up with 3 paladins, and although they didn't steal the spotlight, it would have just been easier for him to say, hey, we're playing Ravenloft. Talk with your players. Maybe he was just trying to surprise you guys, because Ravenloft is one of those iconic settings that if you tell people you're going to Ravenloft, they're going to make vampire hunters. They're going to expect Strahd and like expect this kind of like hard challenge, and they're not going to be as surprised. So I could understand why you would spring it on somebody, but that's my take on it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And as always, this is Golden Buddha telling you to stay enlightened and stay safe.